You're listening to Daily Horoscope for your zodiac sign with Stephanie Campos. I'm your host, Stephanie Campos, and I am a practicing astrologer, psychic medium, and witch. In each daily episode, I covered a detailed overview of the astrology of the day and what you can expect from full moons to Mercury retrogrades. I've got you covered. And of course, there is always a personalized horoscope for your zodiac sign. If you scroll down in the show notes, there are always timestamps included for your convenience. And a quick pro tip before we dive in, I do recommend listening to your horoscope based on your rising sign for more accuracy. And if you are loving this podcast, don't be shy, leave a rating. Hell, even a review. I'm a one human show and produce each and every episode every day just for you. And your support means so much. Now let's get into the astrology of the day. This is your daily horoscope for Sunday, January 25th, 2026. All times are Pacific Standard Time. The action starts out around 10 a.m. when the moon enters Taurus. Now around 1:30 p.m., the moon in Taurus will form a square with Mars in Aquarius. And around 4 p.m., the moon in Taurus will form a square with Pluto in Aquarius. Now, this is going to give us a window of time that is offering us a preview into one of the biggest aspects in January. On January 27th, in a couple of days, Mars and Pluto will form a conjunction in Aquarius. Mars is the planet of war, anger, frustration, severing, separation, motivation, drive, militia, policing. Pluto is a planet of death, crisis, catharsis, transformation, rebirth, healing, the underworld. And so both in our personal lives and in the collective, this might be a moment where we are experiencing some sort of crisis or a trigger or our shadows or our fears bubbling up to the surface in some way. This can definitely be a window of time where we are struggling a little bit more. So I just want to validate that if you're having a harder time personally and collectively with everything that is unfolding, this is a time to be gentle with yourself and with others if and when you can. Like, don't heavy load this day. Try to plan as lightly as possible just to give yourself space to process and feel whatever comes up for you and us personally and collectively. But this can be a moment where that's challenging. So I do just want to highlight that window of time. Now, also on the same day, we have the first quarter moon in Taurus taking place at 8:30 p.m. at 6 degrees. So if you have any planets or placements around 6 degrees of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius, you're the main characters. This is bringing us back to January 18th when we had a new moon in Capricorn. So this is the opening aspect, the opening square, which is a period of pivoting, taking initiation and action on whatever intentions you set or whatever captured your focus under that new moon. This is an important development in that storyline or that goal or intention that you've set for yourself. And I guess I'll also give a little bit more of a personal update. So my sister's been in the hospital for a month. Last night in particular, she was destatting super often. Destatting is when essentially you can't breathe on your own. She's already on oxygen 24/7 and they've been giving her more and more liters of oxygen. So like her baseline has been between around 2 to 3 liters of oxygen. Not ideal, but stable. But last night they were turning her up to 5 or 6 liters of oxygen and she was still destatting. And from there, they put you on what's called a non-rebreather mask. And it's high-powered oxygen in a mask form versus just like the nose, what the two little things that go in the nose. But you can't be on a high-powered non-rebreather mask for an extended period of time. And every time she's ever gone on that, she has ended up being intubated and put on life support, which I don't know how many times this happened in our lives, like 4 or 5 times at least. And And so, yeah, I couldn't sleep last night. I live an hour away from the hospital. I care for my toddler full time. And I was just sending texts back and forth with my mom who lives at the hospital. And the good news is she's stable. There was a ton of fluid in her lungs and they were able to get some out. And now she's back to 3 liters of oxygen instead of 6. And they didn't have to put her on the non-rebreather mask. But I was just kind of up all night wondering, like, am I going to get the text that she's been intubated and put on life support? Because I had that text come through once when I was in my early 20s. My mom texted me at like 2 or 3 a.m. They're intubating her right now. And I like rushed and got in my car and went to the hospital, and it was a whole thing. And anyways, I don't really know why I'm sharing this. But just maybe because I can tell that my tone is sad and this is a podcast. And normally I'm like, hi, this is your daily horoscope. But I'm sad. I'm depressed. And, I had a really great cry a couple days ago. Every couple days, that's how I schedule it in with my Virgo moon. I have a good cry, or that's just how it works. It kind of like builds up and then boom, I sobbed the whole way to the hospital and back. Anywho, just wanted to let y'all know why I still sound a little bland and depressed. It's because I am. And then also motions around to the world around us, right? Like the genocides that are still going on in Sudan and Congo and Palestine, and just ICE kidnapping and terrorizing our communities, and et cetera, et cetera. The early stages of genocide of the transgender community in the United States, and like everything, right? There's essentially illegally going to war with Venezuela. You can go on and on, right? I'm certain I'm missing very other important things too. But yeah, I'm not really thinking as clearly as I always am. And I'm just sad. So I still continue to send you all love and talk more soon, like tomorrow. Okay, bye. Aries, you are focused on who and what you invest your time and your energy into under the first quarter moon in Taurus. There could also be some sort of development regarding some of your hopes, your dreams, and your ambitions for the future. Maybe you are investing in these dreams yourself, or perhaps someone else shows up and has an idea or an opportunity for you as well. This can also look like a moment of embodying your values. Maybe there is some sort of conflict or issue that you need to navigate in a friendship, or this can also bring important revelations just about what you focus on and how you expend your time, your money, and your energy. Taurus, you are the main character under the first quarter moon in your sign, and this brings important revelations your way. This can look like important developments at work regarding long-term goals, even your living situation, your life direction, personal goals you've set for yourself, and your key relationships. The key is you are showing up and putting yourself first. Developments that take place today can feel personal, but you might also just be showing up more authentically and noticing that you are glowing and gaining attention in the process. This can be some sort of exciting development regarding something you've been working towards, whether it is in your professional life, your personal life, or regarding an important person in your world as well. This is your sign from the universe to show up, take space, and take risks, because you will be rewarded. And if there are any important developments or storylines that are unfolding in your life, this can be a critical day for a turning point or a revelation or making an important decision. Gemini, the first quarter moon in Taurus puts you in a little bit of a sleepier mood. It's very possible that you've been busy, you've been running around. Maybe you are just feeling a little worn down, or you've laxed up on your boundaries and you need to set some goals with other people and expectations, even with yourself, around how you schedule your day or what obligations you take on. This could also be a moment where secrets are revealed, or maybe you are taking an idea or something that's lived in your imagination and you're dreaming up ways and possibilities to bring it to life. This could also be a day where you learn news that feels exhausting or maybe even disappointing. But on the bright side, this energy is also very wonderful for working with your intuition and doing divination. Cancer, you are focused on your friendships and sense of community under the first quarter moon in Taurus. And this can bring your attention to friends who maybe aren't genuinely rooting you on. If there are any frenemies in your midst or people who just aren't really supporting you, that might stand out a little extra today. Or if there are connections or contracts in your life where you're giving more than you are receiving back, this is an opportunity to disrupt that dynamic and express your needs or feelings you've been keeping to yourself. It's also possible you're simply showing up for your friends. Maybe they're moving through a challenging time or confiding in you for some support. This could also look like some sort of professional or financial development. Maybe you're presented with a new opportunity or making an important decision about your finances or how you're going to invest your time and energy moving forward. Leo, under the first quarter moon in Taurus, this is bringing important developments to your one-on-one relationships. So on one hand, you might take the next step with a lover, a roommate, or a collaborative partner. This can look like discussing the future with someone important in your life. It can also help bring new opportunities and developments regarding any of your long-term goals, whatever you've been focused on co-creating with the universe and bringing into your world. This is also a moment of just major life decisions or pivot points. And it doesn't mean your whole world is going to change today, but it does mean that you are getting back in alignment with your life path and direction. So maybe you're making choices or decisions that support your overall authentic goals and sense of self-expression. Virgo, the first quarter moon in Taurus brings important changes regarding your daily life, your schedule, and even your habits. So on one hand, there could be changes at work, the type of work you do, even obligations or commitments that you're taking on in your personal life. Maybe you're shuffling things around or your schedule is changing in some way. This can also look like you advocating for yourself, setting better boundaries, asking for help when and where you need it. It's also possible that there are certain habits of your own that you're ready to change, or maybe you've been focusing on shifting and you're starting to feel like you're in a flow and you've got a hang of things. This can also bring some disappointing news your way or conversations where you need to act responsibly or exercise your maturity, but ultimately it is rooted in you practicing boundary setting and protecting your own time, energy, and overall well-being. Also very possible that this is just a very busy day and it can definitely leave you feeling a little bit tired. So try not to overbook yourself. Libra, the first quarter moon in Taurus brings a sense of excitement and passion and romance your way, and even intensity as well. It's not all just rosy. So for some, this could look like a steamy encounter or diving deep emotionally with a romantic partner or someone that you've just met, opening up, exploring your sexuality, investing in a creative idea, a passion project, something that you really enjoy. This can also look like exploring feelings of jealousy or obsessive thoughts or manipulation that are subtle in some of your friendships or romantic relationships, or even relationships with children or family as well. This can bring up some of your shadow side, some of your deeper feelings. So if there is this sense of intensity today. Just know that that is also possible, but it is also possible that you are making some sort of investment in your own joy or pleasure, or perhaps someone else's as well. Scorpio, the first quarter moon in Taurus brings important developments to your private life. Maybe there are major changes going on with your chosen family, your living situation, or regarding the past in some way. Maybe you're introducing someone special to a best friend or your roommate or your family, or maybe you're making a decision about whether to move or where you want to live in the future. This can also look like you reflecting on the past and feeling ready to choose differently or even break certain patterns or cycles that influence how you show up in your daily life or your key relationships as well. Sagittarius, the first quarter moon in Taurus is a busy, busy day. This can have you running from appointment to meeting to trying to catch a friend for lunch, and you can feel exhausted in the process. This is definitely a little bit of productive energy, which is helpful, but it's easy to overdo it. So just keep that in mind. This could also be a moment where you are taking some sort of writing or creative project or something new that you are learning or studying and trying to commit or integrate it on a more day-to-day basis in your life. It's also possible you're having conversations that require you to set boundaries or be a little bit more serious, or even ask for help when you need it most. Capricorn, the first quarter moon in Taurus might invite you to treat yourself. This can be a day where you are reflecting on your resources, your spending habits, or maybe you just want to treat yourself to something that you enjoy or that brings pleasure into your life. This is also a time to invest in your creative projects or ideas or anything that just brings you back into the present moment or lights up your inner child. Now, this can also bring up feelings of scarcity in a way, or even jealousy or a fixation on what someone else has, and cultivate or create this envy or lack mindset, whether it is coming from you directly or someone else projecting this onto you. It's something to be aware of. This could also bring some sort of positive development regarding your finances or even some sort of work opportunity as well. Aquarius, you are one of the main characters under the first quarter moon in Taurus. And this brings important developments to all of the key areas of your life regarding personal goals, sense of self, your living situation, the past, family dynamics, your one-on-one relationships, contracts, your career goals, but also your aspirations and long-term goals that don't have to do with your professional world, but just feel fulfilling. This is a day for making important decisions, for showing up authentically, for learning important news regarding any of these topics. And it's going to feel personal and maybe even a little bit emotional, but it is possible that you're feeling like things are moving forward. And there is also this element of progress. Pisces, the first quarter moon in Taurus has you in a little bit of a sleepier mood. This is a day where maybe you didn't sleep well, maybe you have a ton of things to do and you just feel resistance towards doing them or exhausted while you are trying to tackle your to-do list. This is also energy that can have you focusing on how you speak to yourself. Are there any limiting beliefs in your subconscious that are running the show that you are ready to break or disprove that cycle or that thought pattern? This is really not the day to overdo it, so please don't overschedule yourself. It's also possible you learn a secret, someone confides in you. Maybe you are the one who is confiding in someone else. This energy is also really supportive for taking an idea that's lived in your imagination or your intuition and taking those tangible steps to bringing it to life. As always, I hope your daily horoscope has offered some guidance and support throughout your day. And if you can't get enough of this podcast and want more horoscopes, I invite you to join me over on Patreon, where every Sunday you gain instant access to 7 episodes of your daily horoscope for the week ahead, a weekly psychic reading, a monthly tarot spread, and a monthly meetup, which ranges from group tarot readings to group mediumship readings and circles to ask me anything about your personal birth chart. These group monthly meetups have been a real highlight over the past few months, and I am enjoying them so much. There is a link in the show notes to join. It is only $10 a month, and I hope to see you there. As always, I'm sending you love, protection, and blessings in every single dimension. Thanks so much, and see you tomorrow.